everybody, it's great to see you all here today, and I'm excited about what we're going to be doing today because we're going to be taking the stuff that we've learned for the past couple days and we're going to be putting all that knowledge together to make something creative of our very own. Now, just to make sure we remember what we've been talking about for the last couple days, we have the word adjective up on the board. And remember, we said that adjectives describe nouns. And then we came up with a nice list together of all kinds of different adjectives. And we talked about the different ways they can be used. And then we practiced using adjectives in sentences. Alright, now here's a big word that we haven't seen yet. And it might look a little bit scary because it's so big. Does anyone know what this word here is? Yes, Abby?
Personification.
Excellent. And Abby, do you know what personification means?
I think it's when you make an object sound like a person.
Excellent. Way to put it in your own words, Abby. We're going to say that personification means giving human characteristics to inanimate objects. And inanimate objects are things that are not living. Okay, so we're going to write that down. Alright, you guys are coming up with some great examples of words that we can use to personify the inanimate objects we're talking about. Now, remember, people also have feelings. Can anybody think of a feeling we can use to personify one of these objects? How about Ben?
Sad.
Excellent, sad. An object can be sad, and that would personify it, give it a human trait of sadness. Alright guys, here's what we're going to be doing. This is the creative part. We're going to create a sentence using personification, an adverb, and an adjective. Then, we're going to underline the object that is being personified in red. We're going to underline the adverb in blue. We're going to underline the adjective in green. And then, checklist. When you're done making your sentence, you're going to check here if you've used personification, if you've used an adverb, if you've used an adjective, if you've underlined all three with the right color. Look, the last thing is if you included extra information. Alright guys, now I'm going to model for you what we're going to be doing in that worksheet. I'm going to make a sentence up here. Now let's see. First I need an object that I'm going to personify. I think I'll go with a clock. And I want to describe that clock. I want to use an adjective to describe that clock. Let me see. I'm going to go with the big clock. Now I have to come up with a way to personify the clock. I need to give it some human characteristics. So I'm going to say the clock yelled. The big clock yelled. And I need to use an adverb to describe how the clock yelled, right? So I think I'm going to use happily. The big clock yelled happily. And what else do I need to do? I need to tell something extra. So I think I'll say, the big clock yelled happily at lunchtime. Now we have to underline the object that's being personified in red. So let's see, what's the object? The clock is the object. Now here you have the example sentence that I came up with. The big clock yelled happily at lunchtime. And now we're going to make one together. Now we have to underline the adjective in green. Which word is the adjective? Which word described our chair? Alan?
Quiet.
Excellent. Quiet. Alright. I showed you guys how I made one. We made one together. And now you're all going to make one of your very own. If you have any questions, you can ask me or Miss Smith. I know you guys are going to do a great job.